Gonna wait around 2 more minutes to let people in. All right.
Not like us. They not like us.
Oh, somebody is unmuted. Please mute when you join. Mute. Mute all. Okay, I found it. Cool. So it's 1 past now. Wait 1 more minute to leave more people in.
You're expecting everyone to be on time. Not sure if they're all going to do that, but
yeah.
Also welcome from me, everyone who's joining this. This is super exciting.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people who are joining this, or who said you would join this. So it's great to see at least some of you turning up, but the other numbers are growing. So I will give it another 2 minutes, then we can start.
Definitely excited. A lot of people already showing up today. All right. Big fan of Leadsie in the chat. Nice. Yes, there will be a recording as well, Justin. We'll send it to everybody after the webinar. All right. So it's 2 minutes past. I'm just going to start. Meanwhile, people will probably still be joining in. So I'll just let people in as well. So welcome everybody to the Automate Your SEO Offering webinar. I'm Dominic from Adaptify, and joining me today is Johannes from Leadsie. And yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about automation. First of all, Adaptify, if you don't know it, is a platform that enables you to deliver SEO on autopilot for your clients. So you basically enter your client website. We're going to do keyword strategy, SEO content, and backlink building for that site so that you can deliver SEO to your clients. And of course, you know, when a client comes to you and you want to do SEO or you want to do ads, you have to get access to their search console, to their Google Analytics, to their Facebook ad management. And it can seem like an easy task, but especially with less tech-savvy clients, that might actually cause a lot of email back and forth and become a very painful process. And that is where Leadsie comes in. So with that, I'm going to hand the mic to Johannes, who's going to talk a bit first about what Leadsie can do for you as an agency.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dominic. Thank you, everyone, for joining this. Yeah, I'm Johannes, co-founder of Leadsie. So yeah, Leadsie is a tool for marketing agencies like probably most of you who want to streamline their onboarding process and specifically get access hassle-free. So I know some of you on the call, you are already Leadsie users, which is amazing. Thank you for also joining. As you know, what we do is we get you access to everything from Facebook, Instagram, all the different meta assets, all the types of different Google platforms, which I will be mostly focusing on today, and also TikTok. By the way, Dominic, we have some echo. Maybe you can mute everyone
I'll
again.
Mute myself. And meanwhile, you can share your...
Yes, and yeah, sure. I'll share my screen in a second. I just wanted to say that essentially today will be mostly about how you can automate getting access to everything that's relevant for SEO. We do obviously support a lot more than that. I already mentioned Meta and different ad accounts, but today will be mostly about SEO. And yeah, I mean, to date, we've granted access to over 60,000 clients and over 160,000 accounts. So we have a decent scale now. We know what we're doing. So hopefully for those who haven't used us, this will be interesting. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. So this is Leadsie. This is our website. So there's also going to be a link, I think, in the stuff that Dominic is showing around. Essentially, as I said, I will focus now on the SEO use case. So let's say you have a new client and you want to get access to all different accounts that you need to do SEO for them. So that usually includes Google Search Console, Google Analytics, business profile in some instances if you do local SEO, and then also in some instances tag manager. So I'm going to show you today how you can do that and get access super easily with Leadsie. So once you create an account with us, which by the way is completely free, we have a 14-day free trial. You will at some point get to a page that looks like this, which is your dashboard. By the way, if you have any questions, just put them into the chat and we'll be happy to answer them basically in a little bit when I take a pause and have a look at it. So this is the Leadsie dashboard. And what I will show you now is how can you basically request the access that you need for SEO specifically. So what we can do, for example, one way to use us is through so-called custom requests, which I will show you now. So we do is we just click on that. We say, yes, we want manage access. We can give this custom request a name, for example, SEO. We then can specify different email addresses that should get basically informed once you have received any access through this link. You can even set up a different language if you don't want to have it in English. If you have clients in other languages, we support quite a few. So obviously for SEO, we typically don't need any Facebook or Meta access. So I'm going to disable that. But we do need different Google accounts. So I'm going to switch on Google Analytics, Google Business Profile, and also Tag Manager and Search Console. So what you see, what pops up here is we can basically then select which account do we actually want our clients to connect to, right? So which account should be added to our client account is another way to phrase that. And we basically give you lots of flexibility around that. So you can see that, I can actually go in and could change all of these email addresses to whatever Google account I want. Could be different ones for different accounts as well. That's fine. For Google Business Profile, some of you may be aware there's a so-called organizational account that you can be using. I'm actually going to change that just for this demo and just change it to my standard email address. You have to just log into the Leadsie application and then we can change that and that's done. And what you can also see is we can also request basically administrator access or owner access, if it's as it's called in some cases, by switching that on or off if we want to. We could do that, for example, for this, no problem. And we just create this request. That's done. And now we have different ways of now getting this to the client. We either send it to the client just as a link. So you could put that into your email automations. You could put that into any kind of clever forms you have, whatever you want. You can also embed it into your website. I will show you that at the end of this quick demo to how that looks like, basically. Okay, let me actually have a quick look at the chat. Any questions here?
I think there are two questions from the audience. One is if it's available as white label. From Michael.
Great question, yes. So Michael, we have some features to basically add your own branding to the request, which I will show you in a minute, and to add your logo, change the font, and then, as I mentioned, embed it on your website. There's some limitations around, we can't make it fully white label because of limitations around, the logins and of the different platforms. But yeah, you can customize the branding essentially.
Great.
And then the question from Ada SEO, yes, you can definitely reset your trial with us. That's no problem. Just reach out maybe quickly via email. The easiest way to reach us is hi@leadsie.com and we can reset that. Okay, so let me show you now what would the client now have to do in order to give you access to all of these different accounts. What most agencies do is they would have a PDF file with all the different instructions and what they need to do. And we simplify that massively, as you will see now. So let me just open that request. So what we can see here is essentially a summary of this request. We see that my test account here, which is called Growth Consultant, is requesting partner access to different Google assets. It also shows the accounts that I'm actually using here. and then it confirms kind of which assets I'm requesting access to. Okay, so what the client needs to do, all they need to do is log in with their Google account. So I'm going to do that now. I will log in with the other account that I have for this purpose, the Leadsie one. The client has to give some permissions to our application. And then basically it just loads the different accounts that they have. So we can see now here, it shows all the different Google Analytics accounts I have under this profile. Let me just select the test ones here I have for this purpose. It's possible to search in here. If they have a lot, they can also select multiple. That's all no problem. And we can see here, this one specifically, we ask for admin permissions, which is why we're saying that here. And yeah, all they have to do is just select these accounts. And that's basically it. So let me just show you what happens next. So they click confirm access. And then essentially all the access is now being granted. The only exception is Search Console. As you as SEOs probably know, Search Console has always been lagging behind like the functionality of other tools in Google. The same applies to the API, but we made it super easy for clients to grant access to you as well. So what we do is basically we give them your email address, the one that you want them to add, give them the ability to copy that, then give them a deep link to their domain settings, which I will click now. And then we basically ask them in the steps to add the user, which I'm doing now. So just paste and add. And then the cool thing is we are actually validating if they have granted the right access. So when I go back to this page, automatically it's continued, as you saw, because we have identified that they have given the right access. And that's basically it. So what happens now is you will receive an email with a summary of all the different accounts that you have received access to. And yeah, and then you can start basically using Adaptify or whatever other tools that you need in order to do the SEO work that is required. Any questions about that experience? Just feel free to type it into the chat.
There's a few questions.
Okay, yeah. Onboarding 45 franchises where there are 21 different owners under different emails. Would we need to have 21 people do this? Okay, interesting question. So if there are 21 different people who are the only ones themselves who have access, then they would have to log into the different accounts and do that individually. Yes, that is the case. I mean, if there's some kind of super admin that has access to everything, they could literally give access to everything in one click, in one go. But in that, if it's different owners, then it would have to be a bit more manual, but I think still probably much quicker than doing it manually. For Meta, the question is, what are client requirements to have set up in order to connect us to their Meta accounts or assets? Actually, not too many requirements. We actually have the ability, for example, to create a business manager. It's now called business portfolio, right within Leadsie if they don't have that. They can also create different assets, like, for example, an ad account. If they don't have that, they can create it right within Leadsie as well. And then it depends a little bit what access you need. So let's say if you only need access to a Facebook page, then they don't need to have anything set up in terms of a business portfolio. They just select the page and then you get access to your business manager, but they don't need to have it set up. So it should be much easier.
There's one follow-up question from Ida SEO.
Yes. Okay. Follow-up question on, okay. So if they trust a person to do it, would they need to clear cookies after using the link? If they want to, if this is a computer that's being used by other people, that probably the best thing would be to click log out. In this case, it would actually say disconnect at the top. So yeah, that's probably advisable. But but also this the login and these tokens expire at some point, and they're not going to be able to do anything with it for a long time. The agency can create a Facebook Business Manager business portfolio on behalf of the client. So yes, so no, you can't create a business portfolio on behalf of the client, but we make it super simple for the client to do it themselves. I can give you a really quick overview on that if you want. We use this account. So when you request access to Facebook assets, which I didn't show you in the demo because it's not so relevant for SEO, you actually have this menu item here, or this selection that your clients will see to create a business manager right within Leadsie. So they can just click on it. They can then say, do you want to use an existing one or create a new one? And then they can just create a new one here, give it a name, the industry, and then continue. I cannot create a new one right now because I already have so many test ones, but I can show you what happens on the next screen. And then once they've created it, they can actually create assets within that as well. So for example, add accounts, pages, catalogs, and so on. And we make that super simple as well. And then also share access to it afterwards. Perfect. I understand you need the user that created the fan page to connect. Is that right? Yes, Pablo, good question. Yeah, of course. Someone needs to log into Leadsie who has access to being able to share these assets and these accounts. So they need to be at least some kind of admin on these pages. Yes. Okay. One more thing I wanted to add. Obviously, this session is all about automation. We also have the ability we have something called webhooks. So if you're using, for example, Zapier to automate your processes, what you can actually do is you can set up different workflows for when your clients connect to then initiate further actions through Zapier. For example, you could send a message to your Slack. Okay, hey, a new client connected. Here are their different accounts. You could also set up updates to your CRM system. So you could say, hey, this client has connected, and then it would update the CRM. We have all sorts of documentation on that if you're interested, and we can also help you set that up. But there are quite a few things you can do to automate things, in a lot of detail and basically remove the manual work that's needed. If there's no other question, then I'd probably hand over to Dominic, who can talk about the next step, which is actually doing something with this access that you have now received.
Awesome. Thanks, Johannes. Yeah, that looks very easy to get access to Search Console, Analytics, Google Business Profile, everything you need for SEO, basically. So exactly, once you have that, and you have agreed with your client, or maybe their client is looking for SEO and you want to show them what's possible. Basically, the question becomes, how are you going to deliver SEO for your clients? And that's where Adaptify comes in. So just to show you how easy it is to start doing SEO with Adaptify, I'm going to show you our homepage where you can basically do this little demo and put in any website. I'm just going to put in an example, digital marketing agency website right now, because I'm assuming a lot of you are familiar with those websites because you're probably having one of yourself, but this could be any client website as well. And we then basically analyze the websites completely. We analyze all of the pages, but we also analyze anything in terms of what's already ranking, which keywords, what are the competitors, what is the domain ranking. And based on that, we create this overview where you can see, this page is already ranking for a number of keywords. It has, some backlinks. There's a domain authority, and you can then see, well, does our tool correctly what your website is actually doing? So in this case, it's a marketing agency that focuses on SaaS and cybersecurity. Its avatar is like a B2B SaaS company. So then based on that information, so both like the SEO data that we've analyzed and the actual information on page, we create our content strategy, which in this case would again be about cybersecurity, SaaS, B2B marketing. and also our backlink outreach strategy. So we're basically gonna reach out to get backlinks around those same topics, again, like cybersecurity, e-commerce, etc. And then what this looks like in practice is, we're gonna identify a number of keyword clusters. In this case, there's stuff like fintech, etc., and that are high potential. And we're then gonna create a content calendar for that, and those articles will be automatically created and published. And basically, we're gonna do backlink building in parallel. So just to show you what that looks like in practice, because this is just a quick preview. I'm gonna show you the dashboard that you basically get once you've created an account with us. There we go. So basically, you have all of your sites here. You have a quick overview of how they are doing. If there are any outstanding actions here. This one has Search Console not connected, for example. So I think there's something for Leadsie to do there. But if you go into this first site, this is an example agency website. And you see Search Console is already connected here. We also have one-click publishing enabled. So one-click publishing basically means that we integrate with a number of platforms like WordPress, Webflow, Shopify, or any of the other platforms that your clients might be using. Also, if it's a non-supported platform, we still will be able to automatically integrate it with Adaptify using a manual assistant, basically, which is included in any Adaptify plan. So that's all set up, which means that we can then enable automated content. So you basically set your content frequency here, or recommend it for most types of clients, especially if they're like, lawyer practices, plumbers, those kind of websites, like 10 articles a month is a really good frequency. Some clients would want more content, obviously, and we even have content boosts as well, which are great for newer websites. If you need to create a lot of SEO content quickly to get it to rank and build some authority around a certain topic, then the boost setting is great, because we're just going to start pumping out that content. And then here you can see the full content plan, basically the thing that I was previewing before. So we have our keyword clusters and our keywords, and I can show you in a bit more detail what that looks like. So these are all of the keyword clusters that we have found for this website. So they're all created by our tool, but obviously you have control over this yourself as well. So you could add new clusters, or you could remove ones that you don't like. And then within the clusters, it's basically the same. So every cluster is basically targeted on a particular pillar page, which is, if it's like a lawyer, for example, they would have different services, like maybe they do like accident lawyers. They would probably have a service page like that. So basically this cluster is targeting that service page. So that's the page that's actually that the client wants to go up in the rankings, because that's, where they convert the visitors from just being website visitors into actually paying money to the business. So to do that, we're gonna create content around that particular service that's then all gonna have internal links to this pillar page. And again, for analyzing which keywords we actually gonna put into the cluster, we use like real keyword data. So this is this data that's coming from SEMrush, which you might be familiar with if you're already doing SEO. So you have a difficulty score and like the monthly volume, also a trend. And based on that, we calculate like our own potential score, which is just a single number, which makes it very easy to basically rank the highest potential keywords first. And then those are ones that we will start to create and publish first. So they will appear higher up in the content plan. So if you have a look into one of the articles that's already been finished. So let's open this one. So what we do for every article is every article is focusing one or more keywords. In this case, there's just one. And then it's going to see, well, what's already ranking out there for those keywords. And it's going to, again, analyze each of those competing sites for the keyword. And then create a topical outline and topical map for the article. And actually, I might be able to show that here. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, so basically here, it's going to suggest a number of titles again, which are based on what is already doing well on the SERP, on the Google results page. And then here is the outline and glossary that is created based on what is already ranking out there. So this basically ensures that our coverage is better than any of the individual articles over here, and that makes us able to outrank them. And then when an article is being created, we insert header images as well. Those can either be AI generated, or we have a large library of stock images as well. And you even have the ability to detect which useful images are already on the client's website. So if it's a very visual type of business, like landscaping, for example, they usually want their own images. So it will analyze like which images does the client already have. And even if they have shared more images with you in a Google Drive, etc., you can upload those as well, and they will be used. They will basically be analyzed visually, so we know what's on the image, and then they will be placed in the most relevant articles. So you basically have a very custom images for your clients. And another thing that we do is infographics. So one thing that we've seen work really well is when you have an infographic on the article page, it really catches a visitor's attention and basically makes them spend more time on the page. And that indicates to Google that this is actually strong content, and it will help it rank higher as well. So that's basically what our content looks like. And some clients might be very picky about their content. Like there's some things that they really want to be mentioned, or other things that they don't want to be mentioned. So you can give feedback on any of those article sections as well, and that feedback is basically used by the site-specific AI, so that you can train it. And after giving feedback on just a few articles, basically the AI is becoming smart enough to then make sure that any future articles adhere to whatever instructions you've provided. And also for any article that you create, we do a number of quality checks that basically make sure that there's nothing in the article that could basically upset the clients. Like we make sure we don't mention any competitors, for example, make sure we mention the correct products. And if any of those checks fails, then actually it's flagged for our manual review, and we will manually have a look and basically fix the article before it's automatically being published to the client's website. So that allows you to, again, everything is done automatically by Adaptify, but you still have a high level of control, and there's a high level of quality control to make sure that what you put out there is, it's going to work in terms of SEO, but it's also going to work in terms of actually making your clients happy. So that's what we do in terms of keywords, strategy, and SEO content. And then one thing that's often ignored is backlink building. I mean, backlink building can be quite difficult, which is why we have basically developed an approach which allows you to do backlink building pretty much on autopilot. So the main thing that you need to do is for your client website, you need to fill out a backlink profile. So it's a bit like a LinkedIn profile, like we need a name, a short bio, and a picture. And based on that profile and based on everything that we've analyzed from the website, we then match a number of PR backlink outreach topics. So these are then the topics that we're gonna do backlink outreach for. And the way that works is, we basically have a database of journalists that are writing about all kinds of topics. And whenever there's a request from a journalist that is looking for sources for an article about any of the topics that are matching to this client's website, we go and create a personalized pitch that we send to them. And then, so here, for example, we have a journalist that is looking for an example of how you use storytelling in marketing. So then we use everything that's already on the website. We use the backlink profile that you entered to create a very personalized pitch to that journalist. And then the journalist decides, okay, this is great, I want to feature this in my article. And they will then use that as a quote and place a backlink to your site into the article. So that's how we're basically able to get high domain rating backlinks. As you can see, some of those are from HubSpot, from Forbes, but then there's also a large number of, more niche, but smaller publications that are a bit lower domain rating, but that really help you build a diversified backlink profile. So yeah, in this way, based on the topics that you entered, we will be sending anywhere between 50 and 100 backlink pitches every month, and the success rate is usually anywhere between 5 and 10%. So that means you're gonna have 1 to 6 high DR backlinks for any site that you enter to Adaptify. Let me just check the chat if there are any questions in the meantime. I think there might have been a few.
We have one question from Aida SEO. How are these backlink authors vetted, making sure that they're legit and no guest posts or other things that can ding you?
Right. Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, so basically, like the databases that we use are doing some pre-vetting for us. You might know some of them. Like one is Haro, which is now called Connectively. One is Turkle, which also changed the name to Feature.com. So, but they basically already do a lot of vetting to make sure that basically the PR outlets that we are pitching to are all legit, as you can see here. Like, there's a lot of niche publications in there, but all of those are like real publications that publish real articles that are being read, and that are there to stay. Basically, like it's not like it's just a spammy publication that will get a backlink and then remove it after a few days. Like these are reputable news sources. So yeah, it's basically, it's called mostly PR backlink building. So we reach out to actual journalists rather than those websites that have building backlinks for other sites as their main purpose and then trade in them. So that's how we basically ensure quality backlinks. And then finally, once you've added your website to Adaptify and we've started doing SEO, we also keep track of performance for you. So this is again where the Google Search Console integration comes in. You can see exactly how many articles you published, what's already ranking, which keywords you're ranking for, and you can then share this with your customers as well to share successes. So yeah, to summarize, once you added your website to Adaptify SEO, we basically take care of it in terms of SEO. So we're your SEO partner. We even monitor the site, if it goes down, or we've actually seen some sites being hacked and then going down. So we've then managed to help the owner restore that. And since we have, again, I don't think we have quite the numbers of Leadsie, but we have like thousands of websites under management. So that basically means it's very easy for us to see, which articles start to rank, which don't rank as well, and basically see changes in the Google algorithm as well. So that makes us able to very quickly adapt to that as well. We run beta tests often with new features, like recently we've enabled like social media sharing of articles as well, which just gives a little boost to those articles. So yeah, basically we make sure that we can start ranking, clients in client websites in most niches. So that is basically what we do in Adaptify. So keywords, content, and backlink building. So are there any more questions about SEO in general or Adaptify in particular? I think there are a few. SEO reporting, yeah, Michael. So yeah, there is reporting here, which is using Search Console data. You can both see reporting for anything that Adaptify has done. So this is Adaptify keywords only, but you can also show all keyword data depending on your preference of what you want to share with your customer, what's useful for them. So just let me know if that works for you, or if you have any special reporting requirements, because this is actually something that we are looking to make even better. Like we want to do a PDF export and stuff like that as well. And then Ahmed is asking, what about technical and on-page SEO? So that's a great question, Ahmed. Actually, we don't do technical and on-page SEO ourselves. So basically, in the initial adding website flow that I showed you, we check that the website is, it has a decent Google page score, and it's quick, and all the links are working. And then it basically goes into Adaptify. We can start creating SEO content for it, but we don't do the bit of technical SEO that an agency will usually do in the beginning when a client website is being set up, etc. So yeah, that would be something that you could use other tools for. So yeah, let me know if that answers your question. And then how well does it work with other languages? So yeah, currently we're doing English only. So basically our focus is very strongly on the US, because that makes sure that we can create content that really resonates with the US audience, and that's also starting to rank. So yeah, like especially in Europe, you have a lot of languages, and SEO is a bit different in every country. So yeah, we haven't optimized for anything besides English, US English at the moment. All right. Yeah. So I think Ira, SEO, could you both go over pricing? So I guess if there are no other questions, I can go into our webinar offer, which we've prepared, and then we can talk a bit about pricing. So no further SEO questions.
Actually, can you, Dominic, sorry to interrupt you. There's obviously an elephant in the room a little bit, right, about using AI with SEO. I think for those who are in the SEO scene a little bit, there are stories of people saying, oh, it, there maybe has been a Google update and my my AI generated content isn't ranking anymore. What's your stance on that, and how does Adaptify address that?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. That's a question that we get asked quite a lot. So we actually look very carefully at Google's own guidelines about this, and what Google is actually saying is not so much that they don't like AI content explicitly, but what they don't like is basically unhelpful content. So that's content that's poorly written, or content that's very repetitive, is not adding anything new. And that's basically the kind of content that if you were to, just ask ChatGPT to write something, you would get that kind of content. So that's basically why, why we've created a much more elaborate process where we actually do research for every article. We see what's already ranking. That ensures that our article is better than any of those articles individually, because we basically take the best from every article and put it into a more readable format. We add new original information like infographics, for example. And then finally, we do quality checks as well to make sure that there are no mistakes in the article that could easily lead to Google maybe not being so happy about it. So there's basically a lot of we've given a lot of thought to this topic. Basically come up with a process that very closely mimics the process of what a good human writer would do. So it's not just generating quickly AI SEO content, but it's an actual process of research, then writing, and then actually reviewing and editing that content as well. So I guess that's kind of what we do differently from a lot of the AI writers that you can find out there. And then obviously we are a full SEO solution as well. So we actually build backlinks back to those articles as well, which is something that a lot of AI written articles will never get, because, well, people are just not very happy to link to a poorly written article.
Nice, thank you.
All right. Then I'll open this slide. So yeah, this is a bit of an offer that we've prepared especially for this webinar. So Johannes, I'll let you introduce Leadsie's offering first, and then we can go into further questions about pricing and anything related to that as well from the audience.
Of course. So we offer a 14-day trial, no credit card required for anyone anyway, so you can just try it out. And then specifically for this webinar today, we have this specific coupon for you, which is SEO Webinar 100. It gives you $100 off your first subscription payment. So now, what does $100 give you? Just to talk about pricing quickly, I maybe can I share my screen quickly? Can you allow me to share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just talk about pricing quickly. So we have monthly plans, but also annual plans. Obviously, with annual plans, you get some savings. You actually get 2 years for free. And so basically, we have a startup plan which is $49 a month. With that plan, you can onboard up to 3 new clients a month. What that means is basically getting full access to 3 clients. So that's not per account, but per client. So one client might give you access to 20 different accounts. That's no problem. That's still just going to be one client. We also have separate credits for auditing clients. What does that mean? That means if you're only getting view-only access to, for example, do an audit for new prospects, then you get separate clients for that, and we give you 10 credits for that per month. Both of these credits, they roll over for up to 3 months. So if you don't use them, they will not just expire. And also we have a 30-day money-back guarantee for any of our plans. The agency plan, which will be probably relevant for most of you, is $99 a month. And here we give you more credits, and we also give you access to the white labeling and embedding, which I will show you in a second. There was a question in the chat about that. Also webhooks that I mentioned, so you can do automations. Teams, so you can add team members to your Leadsie account who can then look at your requests, the client status, what access they have given to you, and all these fun things. Let me actually very quickly show you the embed, which is not pricing, but a little bit different because it was asked in the chat. And meanwhile, also feel free to add any questions in the chat that you have. So if we look at this example page here, this is a WordPress page, just a normal page. So what I've done here is I've embedded Leadsie into this normal WordPress page through the embed functionality. So I just added like some basic text there. And that's how actually most of our agencies, especially the bigger agencies, are using us. So they would just embed the request right there. And you can see it has all the same details. And then the client can just log into their accounts directly from this embedded version here. So let me just, for example, click here on login, use the Leadsie account, just like before. And then it will take me back to the embedded version, and I can give access in the same way as I just showed you. So that works within the embed. So yeah, that's the pricing. We just have a quick look as to any questions. So for Leadsie, in the case of the franchise, yes, back to that question. It's a bit tricky for us to identify them all as the same client. So we would probably see them, each of those account owners that might give you access to one franchise that has multiple locations. We would see them as one client each. So, but yeah, we can discuss that a little bit more it sounds like there's a lot of different potential locations and so on. So we are happy to discuss that in a bit more detail and maybe find some solution to kind of group them if you want. And then question on Nextdoor. We don't have an integration with Nextdoor specifically, but maybe there's something you can do through the webhooks that I mentioned and Zapier, so kind of integrating the two. But I'm not sure. I haven't come across that, but that's probably supported through Zapier.
Yeah, and then I think the Duda support question is for Adaptify. So we do support Duda. So Duda doesn't actually support publishing to their blog via the API. So we have a workaround for that, where you can create a custom Duda collection, and then we'll basically publish to that, and the pages will appear there. So your SEO content is going to be published to your clients Duda. So definitely support it. All right, then let me go through the Adaptify offer that we've prepared for this webinar. Share screen. There we go. Yeah, so for Adaptify, normally we offer a 7-day free trial, but for anybody on this webinar right now, we have actually extended that to 14 days. So it gives us time for you to set up all your websites, and see if everything is working as expected. And we will also include a training call for you to make sure that you make the full use of our SEO platform. And that includes a backlink profile review as well, because especially some less tech-savvy clients, like they might not even have LinkedIn or may not know exactly who is the right person to put in the backlink profile. So we will review with you on a call to make sure that we can actually build high-quality backlinks for the sites that you add. And if you want to get this offer, it's valid until 14th of May. So basically for 1 week, and you get it by going to this link, adaptify.ai/SEO/webinar offer. I put it into the chat as well. And if you start your trial from there, you will get all those benefits listed here included. And there was a previous question as well about pricing in general. So let me just address that. We basically have our agency plan, which I'm assuming is most relevant for most people on this call. So it's $99 per month, and it includes SEO for 3 websites. And for every website, you get basically unlimited content, unlimited keywords, and the PR backlink outreach is going to be running all the time. And as I explained, it will on average get you 1 to 6 DR40 plus backlinks a month. And you can enable automated content, as I said, with different frequencies, like 10x a month, or even every business day for your clients. We support platforms like WordPress, Webflow, Shopify, Duda, as I mentioned as well. And one thing that I didn't mention before, but we also do indexing of articles. So if Google doesn't automatically pick up content, we actually submit those articles to Google for indexing. We also do local SEO, so we write content for any business locations that you want to target for that website if it's a local business. And if you then want to add more websites to the agency plan, it basically starts out at costing $299 per additional website. And then if you start adding more, there's a bulk discount, so it basically gets cheaper over time. Once you hit 10 websites, it's at $225 per website. If you hit more than 50 websites, then you're eligible for a custom pricing as well. So basically can give you a better deal. So let me know if any questions about pricing. And meanwhile, let me check the chat.
We have a question on the website. Is it per URL or per subdomains?
Right.
As well.
Yeah, so website is basically per domain that you want to publish to. So if you've set up WordPress for a domain, then that would count as one website. If you don't have set up a different WordPress or Webflow or whatever on a different subdomain, that would be another website. But if within your WordPress config you've somehow configured the subdomain or something like that, that would be one website. But it's basically in 99% of cases, one website will be one business. So yeah, like one company that has a website with a blog section. Then other question, could you define websites, and what about e-commerce? Yeah, so e-commerce sites, we do support Shopify by default, and also we support WordPress. So any of the WordPress plugins like WooCommerce, those sites are also well supported. So let me know, James, if that makes sense. WordPress that then uses. Yeah, if they have a WordPress that then uses Shopify, so it depends basically which of those sites they use for the blog section, because that is the main section that we will be publishing content for. So if for example, they have a blog on a subdomain, you would add that into the publishing integrations, but we could then still do backlink for the main domain. And in that sense, that would just be one website. So as I said, in 99% of cases, it's like one client site will be counted as one website. All right. So by considering the price, do you have any pricing strategy or a sweet spot for what would charge a customer per month for taking care of their SEO? That's a great question. So it depends a lot on what niche you're working with. Like obviously, if you're working mainly with lawyers as your client, you're going to be able to charge a bit more. Whereas with plumbers and local businesses, it will usually be a bit less. But like the ballpark figure that we see is anywhere between 1 to 2K per month is what our like the agencies who are our clients typically charge their customers. So let me know if that makes sense. Yes, James mentioned the 1 to 2K is cheap for certain customer segments, especially if you target bigger businesses or or like financial business, lawyers, etc. Cool. Any other questions? All right. I think it's a wrap. What do you think, Johannes?
Looks like it. Oh, we're getting some claps as well. That's very
Yes,
kind. Thank you
very much, James.
I mean, yeah, I'm very impressed with what you can do with Adaptify. I'm also an SEO guy. Like I used to do SEO for different companies, and I mean, I'm still doing it for Leadsie, of course, as well. We're doing SEO too, and it's like, wow. I mean, it's impressive what you can automate there. Really, really impressive.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I also think like Leadsie is very, very convenient, especially if you're an agency that's offering a lot of services like ads, SEO. It's gonna save you a lot of time and pain. So.
All right. Thank you, everyone who joined us, and we will follow up with the recording. And please let us know your feedback as well. You will receive an email, I believe, from the platform. What was it called? Luma?
Yeah, you will receive an email from Luma that's going to ask you for feedback. So please be honest with your feedback. Anything that we could have done better, let us know. And then by tomorrow, we will send you a recording of the webinar as well. All right. So everybody, bye.
Thank you so much.